Hello guys, and welcome back. In this episode, I will be walking you through the user interface of Adobe Premiere Pro. So without much ado, let's get started. Alright, so understanding the Premiere Pro interface actually, Adobe Premiere Pro uses Adope panel-based interface. The entire interface configuration is called Workspace. So the entire interface here, which you see here actually is called Workspace. Okay, the application has 5 pre-built workspaces to accommodate different working style and different tasks you need to accomplish. All right, okay, you will perform most of your editing work in the different panels of the program's interface. Okay, these panels allows you to import and organize your media and preview your video and audio footage. Okay, so taking it from one, when we talk of import and organize your media actually, as I explained earlier, whatever media you want to use, being it video, being it picture, being it audio, everything have to be in this particular section. Okay, and you can also have a preview of your video and a footage. So the video actually, which is this one, you can actually have what? A preview of it. Okay, so the timeline where most of the actual video editing is performed is also a panel. So I'm talking of this panel here because this is where most of the editings and whatever takes place, adding effects and stuff like the way we did in our mini lesson. Okay, all right. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take it one by one and I'll be explaining everything in here. So the very first one you see here actually is called a source monitor. Because this source monitor actually can be used to play back and preview individual clips. Okay, you can use the source monitor to prepare clips before you add them to a sequence. Okay, so in the source monitor here, you can set in and out options or points and markers and specify how the clip will be added to the timeline. You can view clips in this monitor by dragging and dropping them into the source panel or double clicking them. So the double click, when I put the mouse cursor on this video and I double click, automatically it will be on the source monitor here. So with the ins and out, this is the ins and out. So you see this slider here helps you actually to glance through the video very quick. So let's, for example, say maybe some parts that you don't want. You can use the mark in and mark out before you can even import it to your timeline. Okay, so that is the work of the mini lesson here. We'll tackle everything here, so don't worry. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is the effect control. Okay, this is the effect control. So the effect control actually have some special effects which can be added to a video and audio clips on the timeline, like the way we did our mini lesson here. Okay, some effects, for example, can change color video to black and white, while others alter the color balance of an image or can help to stimulate the look of film. The effect control panels allows you to edit effects that have been applied to your clips. To access this, first you must select it in the timeline by clicking on it. So in this case, if you do not have a clip selected, the panel remains blank. And the reason why this panel actually is not remain blank is because we have some kind of source file in there. But for example, if we don't have anything in here, this effect control here will be totally blank. Okay, whereby you not even have any option to choose the kind of effect actually you want to apply or stuff. Okay, you can also use the panel to access the inherent motions, opacity, and audio properties. So if I should click on this video here, automatically you see we have the opacity, motion, time ramping, volume, palma, and the rest. So once I deselect it, I'll have nothing here. So you see we don't have anything in there. Okay, all right. So let's move on to the next one, which is the audio mixer. Audio mixer, actually, you can use the audio mixer to adjust settings while listening to audio tracks and viewing video tracks. Each audio mixer track corresponds to a track in the timeline of the active sequence. So if I start to play this video here right now, I just want to you see, guys one up a little bit. So you see everything in here. All right. So whilst it's playing on the timeline, when you come to your audio mixer, here you can do some kind of adjustment based on if really you know what you are about. Okay, and also you can also use the mixer to add effect, change the volume of what relative tracks, or to record audio directly into sequence tracks. But hey, me, I don't record audio. I use my own thing, do my video, do the voice, and I just bring it out. Cut where I don't want and the portions that I want. Later I join. If I want to reduce the noise at the background and stuff, that's when I go in for the other settings, for which we will tackle it in this particular masterclass course. All right. Okay. Now we move on to the next one, which is the last one being on this panel here. Okay. So it's called what? Meta panel. This meta panel is a set of information that describe the content or properties of a file. Video and audio files automatically include information regarding their file size, format, creation date, and duration. So if you look here, we have the name, label, media type, frame rates per second, media start, media end, media duration. And so all these are just kind of information that you put in that will attach to your video. So that is what is called a metadata panel. Metadata panel can also include additional information such as your location, director, scene, shot, etc. Okay, the metadata panel allows you to edit and view these properties, so you can use them to organize and sort your files or share with other Adobe applications. All right, so as you can see, there are a lot of them. Okay, you can do research on them more to have more understand. But honestly, for me, what I do, I don't even use it. I haven't even used it before, to be very honest with you. Okay, all right. So the next one I just want us to look at is called a program monitor. So this is the program monitor. The program monitor is your live monitor. It is used to play back and preview only the clips on the timeline. So if we don't have anything here, this program monitor here will be blank. So if I undo what I deleted, you see that the program monitor is back with the preview of what is on the timeline. So it's just simple as that. All right. So the next thing I just want us to take a look at is called the project panel. Okay, the project panel actually, let's take it one day. Video editing is a non-destructive editing process because you do not edit the original content of your files. The project panel contains references to all the footage files, being it video, audio, and images that you have imported into Premiere Pro, in addition to the sequence, titles, and other supporting material you create in the application. All right, for example, we bring a video here and we do some adjustment to it. Okay, this doesn't mean that our original video, which we imported here, actually has been trimmed to these same settings that we did here on our mini lesson. So if I double clicking to appear in this source monitor, and as we drag this head back and start to play, you see that we have that same video. Hello guys, and welcome to Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass course. Okay, we have the same video, which is raw as we imported it. So that is one very good thing of Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, all right, so now let's move on to the next one on the same panel here, which is called the media browser. Okay, so actually some people refer it as media browser panel. Okay, so this browser actually helps you to browse and preview files on your hard drive. You can leave the media browser open and dock it, just as you would any other panel. The media browser gives you quick access to all your assets while you edit them. So with this one, if I have files in my local hard disk and I click them, actually, this actually gives me a quick overview or a quick preview. So for example, how I navigated from program file to this one is your local hard disk. Okay, this is the local hard disk. So I mean, it's most of the editors actually like saving their files, everything in the hard disk. Okay, all right. So that is all about media browser. Okay, all right, good. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the info panel here. Okay, the info panel displays information regarding the currently selected item in the project panel or the timeline. So if I select anything here, it will just give me the type video, which is 20.1 fps. The fps is frame per second. Then it will give me the dimension of the video, which is 1920 by 1080. Okay, then the audio you can see. So it gives you some kind of information. So the moment I deselect it, all these information that were they actually will disappear. So that is what the info panel is all about. Okay, then the another panel here, which is most important, and we will be using it more, okay, in further lessons to come. It's called the effects. Okay, this effect here actually have some common thing to do with the effect control here. So any effect that you drag here, you have to do the settings under the effect controls. So they are more kind of brother and sister. So let me just put it that way. Okay, all right. So now let's see the effects panel. The effects panel is a repository of all the video and audio effects and transitions available in the application. You can place transition such as it dissolves, deep to black, and page wheels and page pills between clips to allow you to transit from one clip to other. You can add effects such as black and white, levels, and balance to individual clips to change their appearances or audio quality. So you can see that this effect actually play a major role when it comes to video editing, because most of your effects for which will go in there and you guys will actually understand how to use these kind of effects, okay, and more advanced one. All right, okay, so the next one on the tab here is called the markers. So the marker panel, you can use the marker panel to see all the markers in an active clip or sequence. The panel displays marker information such as in and out, point, comment, and color grading. All right. Okay. So now I have almost explained close to everything. So now the next one I just want us to look at is called the history. Okay, it's called the history panel. Okay, so the history panel actually stores a list of actions you have performed to change the state of your project in the current working session as an alternative to using your edit. You go to undo, or the keyboard command, which is Control Z on Windows or Command Z on Mac. You can use this panel to jump back to any previous state in the current work session. So as you can see, this is what if you open your many lesson that we do, you see we can go straight away, select anything, so we can go back in time. Okay, even when we created the first file. Okay, so actually this is what the help tool actually helps you to do. Sorry, the history. Okay, so this history actually helps you to actually go through your everything and make sure that all what you are doing actually is what really complete and fantastic. However, you should note that changes you make to the program that affect panels, windows, or preferences are not stored in the history panel. Also, when you close and reopen Premiere Pro, the history panel is automatically reset and you lost access to the previous state of your project. So, for example, if we should close our project here, automatically and reopen it again, we will not have any history stored for us again. It's gone for good. Okay, it's gone for good. All right. So when you look on this panel here, this is the list view. This is the icon view, as I explained earlier. So you see that is how the preview actually works, and you can pull this slider here to increase the preview, how you want it to be, or stuff. Okay, it all depends on how you really want it. This is the automate to sequence. Then we have the search, which is find, the new bin, then we have new item, and then we have delete. So to delete anything here, all what you need to do, click on what you want to delete, click, hold and drag, and what, drop it in the delete bin here, and automatically it will be gone. Okay, all right, good. So the next thing I want to talk about here is the tool spanner. So this is what we call the tool spanner. This panel stores the various editing tools you can access in the application. The cursor changes appearances based on the tool that is active and the type of content that you are hovering over. So this one, I will explain that one vividly in an upcoming lesson. Okay, so I will not waste much time here. But if I click on any tool here, you see that it changes. The cursor changes. Okay, you see, this is the razor tool that we use to cut some of our videos, and we have this slip tool, we have the pen tool, rectangle tool, we have the hand tool, we have the text tool, and stuff. All changes. Not all of them actually changes. When it's on the timeline, it's hardly for you to see, like the rectangle here. So it's telling you that the rectangle doesn't have any business doing on the timeline, but rather on the program monitor. Same to the hand. Okay, same to the text, and same to the pen. But from here going, it actually works on the timeline. All right, okay. So the next one I just want us to take a look at is called the timeline panel, for which we are already familiar with this timeline panel, okay, where you can perform the majority of your editing work on the time panel, including adding clips, positioning them, and changing their properties. You can also use the timeline to add effect and transition, as we did in our mini lesson, okay, to the video and audio clips in your project. So each sequence in the project is a separate, independent timeline. When multiple timelines are available, the panel uses a tab display similar to a web browser to separate them. So for example, let me drag this one here. And for example, let's say we want to create another new sequence, and you can see, these are two different things. So you can work on multiple sequence. Same, you can also create multiple projects. Okay, all right. So now let's close this one by just hitting the button here. So with this one, I think this is what we just created. So I can just drag that one and put it in the delete the bin here, and automatically it will be deleted out. Okay, all right. So the next one is the audio meters panel. The audio meters panel actually is this panel that you are seeing here. Okay, so this panel is a volume unit meter. It shows the volume of clips that are on the timeline. The display in this panel is active only when you preview the video and audio clips in a timeline. So if I should hit on spacebar to start playing.
So in red, just shout yes if you are happy joining this brand new Adobe Premiere Pro Masterclass course.
So this is
okay,
actually
take the yes how now as this.
It all works. Okay, guys. Now, if you come to the top here, we have the file menu. Okay, so these are files whereby we can come here. I think the sequence will actually take a look at it for sure. Markers, graphics and titles, view, window, and the help. So with this window here, okay, let's for example assume I just want to make some adjustment to my window here, okay, how it's being displayed. So let's say, for example, I just want to push this one just to be a little bit closer, and I just want to push this one also to this side, okay. And for example, what I want to do, I just don't want to have anything doing in the editing mode, or maybe I just want to expand my program monitor here a little bit, so it will make a little bigger, okay. So now after doing all these adjustments, we can save this template as a different template altogether that we can be using, whereby we will not go to editing. And as you can see, I have TA Digital here. So I have created my own layout. Okay, I have created my own layout, and you see that everything changes to the layout that I have here. All right, so now let's go back to editing. I just want to show you guys how you can save it, and you can tell the moment I swap it, look at how this changes. So let me go back here, and you can tell, you see, this changes. When you go back to editing, it also what changes. Okay, so Control S to save. All right, so let's, for example, assume you have make adjustment to all this panel and you want to save it and have it pinned down always. So what you need to do is go to Window, come to Workspaces, and come all the way down and click on Save as New Workspace. So the moment you give it a name based on any name that you prefer, automatically it will also be part of the tabs here, the different tabs here that we have. So always you find yourself in your own customized editing mode that you have what save. Okay, guys, so the moment I hit on save, actually it will actually save for me. Okay, so I'll just cancel it. You can go ahead and try it. It's very important. Okay, so now we have different types of editing mode. We have the learning, we have the assembly. The assembly also have a different way of how things look up here. Okay, it also have a way of how it's been arranged. So you see, this one is a different arrangement. Then we go to editing, which you already know. This color here actually, we will actually come to color. Let's, for example, if the video is not that clear and we want to make some adjustment to the color correction, color grading, or lumetric colors and stuff, this is where all those things will actually take place, and we'll come to that for sure. All right, then from there we move on to the effect panels. So with this effect here, actually, okay, for me, actually, I don't like using the effect coming all the way here, whilst I can be on my editing mode and I can have it somewhere here, okay, where I can have it somewhere here, which is the effect, where I can actually have it there. So for me, mostly, honestly, I don't like coming here to work on my effect. Though here is very simple, as you can see, we have all the presets and lumetric presets, audio effects and stuff. It's the same way if what I use the one on my project here. Okay, so I don't worry myself actually coming all the way to the effect here. Then we have audio. Okay, with this audio also, I don't actually come here a lot. Okay, but it's good for you guys to actually know your way around. Then we have what captions and graphics. So this one actually deals with maybe if you want to add some title to your video, maybe some text popping up, sliders, and they have some default template that they have created, which we can use them for, which will actually come to this particular episode where I'll be explaining more to it, how you can use it, how you can create your own stuff and the rest. Okay, then we move on to the library. The library actually is something that works within Adobe applications, which I don't actually use it that much. Okay, so if I switch back to my own preview state that I did, this is actually how my panel actually looks. Okay, guys, so you see, it's very important for you to know the user interface of every application that you want to learn. And this episode, actually, I have taken my time to explain everything in detail, having left anything. Okay, so we'll talk about the tools, whereby I will explain how some of them works. Okay, and I will pinpoint the most important ones that you should actually worry knowing them offhand and know how to use them. If I'm not lying, if I'm not telling lie, honestly, it won't even get to up to 5 or 6 tools here. That is Adobe Premiere Pro for you. But there are a lot of tools here, which if you want, you can use them. Okay, guys. So this brings us to the end of this episode. So in our next episode, actually, which we'll be moving to Basic 2, where we will start importing and organizing our media. That is where we'll start doing more stuff and more explanation. Okay, so see you in the next video.